Welcome back. Communal tensions erupted in West Bengal's Mominpur area last night after religious flags put up for Milad-un-Nabi were allegedly torn. The BJP, though, is claiming that the Hindu community was attacked as they geared up to celebrate the annual Lakshmi Puja. Now, as many as 38 people have been detained for causing ruckus in the area. Bengal's BJP chief, Mr. Majumdar, who was heading to the violence-hit area, was stopped by the police and then arrested. Shreya Dhoundiyal, meanwhile, has written a letter to Amit Shah seeking urgent deployment of central forces to maintain law and order in the state. In his letter, Mr. Adhikari has alleged that the state government had surrendered in front of goons and was reluctant to act. Listen in to who said what today.
Now, what I've written to the Prime Minister is that this should, more than seeing it as a communal incident, this is a part of a sort of distorted empowerment which leads to a certain form of swagger. It's a form of dadagiri which exists. And that dadagiri manifests itself in things like this.
এর পিছনে ভারতকে যারা ভাঙতে চায়, যারা কাশ্মীরে আজাদি চায়, সেই শক্তি আছে তারা ফান্ডিং করেছে।
दंगा बोलना भी इसे गलत है। एक तरफा मार चल रहा था, वहाँ पे अनुसूचित जाति के लोग जो हिंदू वहाँ पे है उनके ऊपर आक्रमण चल रहा है और सारे टीएमसी ही करते थे। ऐसा नहीं कि बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ता है।
This administration and this government, especially Honorable Chief Minister, takes law and order action with 30% or without 30%.
Let me go straight across to our guest this evening. Shatorupa is a BJP leader who is joining us on the broadcast. Manojit Mondal is spokesperson of the TMC, and Ashutosh is a political analyst. Shatorupa, I'm coming to you first. Mr. Shreya Dhoundiyal in his press conference has said things like it is the Al-Qaeda and the ISIS that is behind the violence in Calcutta, that we need the NIA, that's the National Investigative Agency, to investigate the violence. Is he being serious here?
Of course, he is absolutely serious. Shreya, Bengal is a place where it's been like a safe haven. Are you able to hear me? It's been an absolute safe haven for terrorists, especially these kind of organizations that Shubhendu Da has mentioned very clearly. And we are actively, we've reported the Home Minister before also, that in fact NIA has been extremely active in West Bengal. They have identified quite a few of these organizations, and mainly it's these. You see, Manojit is already smiling. It's a very telltale sign. This government, led by Honorable Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, has been following a very blatant appeasement policy. And it is because of this appeasement policy, you have leaders like Bobby Hakim openly claiming that they have successfully managed to make Mominpur, Khidirpur, this entire belt of West Bengal, of Calcutta, into a very mini Pakistan. And they have no shame about it. They don't beat around the bush about it. They're very blatant. That they're very happily fanning a clan of Muslims, a section of Muslim community, who have made it their birthright to attack Hindus at the drop of a hat. And this particular day, Kojagori Lokhi Pujo, is very significant, Shreya, because the history of Bengal is witness to the fact that post-independence, you must have heard about the Noakhali riots. This has happened again on this same day, Lokhi Pujo. This Kojagori Lokhi Pujo, which happens in the night. It's an extremely peaceful puja which happens, and the Hindus worship Ma Lakshmi for prosperity, and it's got nothing to do with any other community. Now, this Muslim community suddenly takes it upon themselves to attack specifically Hindu community, Hindu shops. You must have seen the videos. Hindu shops, Hindu bikes, Hindu localities have been vandalized to the extent that police has been completely inactive. Police, you may well know that the Honorable Chief Minister is also the police minister, and police has been repeatedly claiming that this is one area.
But there's the other side of the story as well.
Like what?
But there is the other side to the story as well, Shatorupa. Fact is that I do not know who. I'll tell you. I do not know. See, since I'm not the NIA and I'm not the CBI and I'm not the ED, I do not know what was the spark of this communal violence. But there are two sides of the story right now. One side of the story is one side of the story is what you are telling us, The other side of the story is that they are saying there were flags that were being put up for a Muslim festival. Those were torn down by the Hindus.
No.
So who sparked this violence? How do we know? How are you so confident
Let me finish.
that it was the Muslim side when we actually don't know?
Let me finish there. This has been the tendency of Muslims in Bengal and all over India to instigate violence. And you always want to justify that Hindus have started this. This has never been the case. Hindus are a very peace-loving community who have always been sticking to their own side of worship. And Shreya, even if I take your question, if it was supposed to be a very balanced equation, you are saying that the Hindus have started this, then let there be an open inquiry. Why are you stopping BJP leaders from getting into that area? Why are you stopping the honorable president, our state president, from going into that area? Why are the
Manojit, answer that question.
After some
answer that question. We live in a democracy. We live in a democracy. Everyone in this country has a right to go to any place they wish to. Why stop a BJP delegation or the BJP state president to go to Mominpur? What's the problem?
Precisely because of the narrative, precisely because of the kind of semantics that their leaders are not even counting on my very good friend who is just a spokesperson like me. Look at the language of...
I'm definitely not a friend, please. You carry on your sing-song, don't befriend me.
Shreya, how do I do it?
Shatorupa, okay, just calm down. I mean, this is just a friendly debate. I mean, we are not enemies here. We are not.
I call you my enemy.
Okay. Mr. Mondal, Shatorupa is not your friend. Now go ahead. She doesn't want to be friends with you. Go ahead.
Got it. Because of this language, Shreya, do look at the kind of language used by the leader of the opposition. And because of that reasons, the police had to stop them simply because there were some unfortunate clashes between certain groups. Police is yet to trying to ascertain the reason. But इन लोगों को सुख के पता चल जाते हैं कि वहाँ कोई उन लोगों का जो favorite है communal classes. That happened. There lies the problem. If they are allowed to go there, they will inflame the situation like anything. Because that's what they are supposed to do. That's what they have been known for doing since 2000. And even in recent times, Shreya, if you look at the history of the BJP ruled state in the last 5-6 years, maximum number of communal cases have taken place in their state, whether it's UP, Gujarat, or even in Assam. I mean, we are very clear on one thing, that just few days back, we had a tremendously peaceful Durga Puja. It's a thumping success, internationally recognized. We had a very peaceful Lakshmi Puja yesterday also, along with the Eid Miladun-Nabi festival and other festivals. There were some clashes, very unfortunate. We certainly do not approve of this kind of clashes. Police were swung into action immediately. They had to impose 144, considering the fact that that area is a very sensitive area. And that's why from today till day after tomorrow, there is 144. So what is the question of Mr. Sukanta Mojumdar, who again, by the way, quoted arrest today, who had to go just to have their own, favorite narrative of communal politics. The way Mr. Shubhendu Adhikari is saying, we understand Shubhendu Adhikari is in serious tension because of the corruption cases that are stumbling upon on his family. His brother was interrogated even today by the police of Bengal. We know that's why he is saying Anab Sana Bakrayan, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. Do you love your state? Do you love the Bengalis? Do you love Bengal? I mean, this is amazing. How can the leader of the opposition talk about this language, this kind of shit, that we have ISIS, Al-Qaeda? And for argument's sake, even if we take that there are some elements like that, what is your home minister doing? What is the police doing? What is the Board of Security Forces doing? So far, I tell you, West Bengal has been the most peaceful state as far as communal harmony is concerned. We have got zero tolerance to communal disharmony. That's the statement of our honorable leader.
But the fact is, Mr. Mondal, you can say what you want to. You can say what you want to, but the state of West Bengal does hit the headlines for communal tensions time and again. I mean, what happened yesterday in Mominpur happened under your watch. There is, every police department has a local intelligence unit. Everyone, it's the job of the local intelligence unit to know that this is an area where possible tensions could happen, etc., etc. So, this is a complete law and order failure that has happened under Mamata Banerjee's watch. You'll have to agree with me there. Let me get in Ashutosh here, who is joining us on the broadcast as well. Shatorupa, can I get in Ashutosh ji, and then I'll come to you in a bit.
Yeah.
Ashutosh, just contextualize what we saw in Mominpur and what we have seen post that. I mean, for Mr. Adhikari to step out and say, the ISIS is behind this, the Al-Qaeda is behind it, the NIA should come and investigate. It's a bit extreme and tells us about the politics of West Bengal. Deeply polarized, but that's not the only worry there.
Shreya, I expect that the Shatorupa will not disturb me, because what I'm going to say might disturb her. There are the three things. First of all, 2024 parliamentary elections are close by. So obviously BJP has larger stake, because last time they got 18 seats, and they know that this time they are very weak. So obviously the polarization on the ground will have to be intensified to increase their number as to save their parliamentary number. That's point number one. The point number two, and I strongly condemn the words used by Shatorupa when she said that Muslims, wherever they are, they instigate violence. I think this is something which the Prime Minister office should be taking note of, because a protocol was issued by the Prime Minister office, and insisting that their spokesperson should restrain making any comments about any particular community or religion. I hope the PMO is taking note of it. Point number three, I should tell her that Sardar Patel has written a letter on 11 September 1948, where he very categorically wrote, he said that RSS is very good in terms of defending Hindus, but the kind of violence, the kind of hatred they spread against the Muslim communities, that is not acceptable. So this is Sardar Patel's letter to Guru Golwalkar in 1948, blaming RSS for instigating violence against Muslims. These are not my words. I hope Shatorupa is a well-read person, so she should know, and she must have read it. The point number four, if Al-Qaeda, ISIS, I thought that when Modi ji became the Prime Minister in 2014, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, all the terrorists, they ran away from this country because they were so scared of him. But if Al-Qaeda is still active in Bihar also, in West Bengal also, ISIS is also active, in Kerala they are also active, then we must admit that we at the center has a very inefficient, incompetent government. They can't control terrorists, and terrorism is increasing every day. Al-Qaeda and ISIS, they are spreading their tentacles like anything. What is NIA doing? NIA should be disbanded. Immediately it should be disbanded, because it is proven to be incompetent organization. What I mean to say is that this is all politics. This is all related to 2024 parliamentary elections, nothing else. This polarization, communalization will increase in coming days and months and weeks. Mark my word.
May I?
Okay. Shatorupa, please go ahead. My producer tells me I have a minute and a half. Go ahead.
I'll finish in less than a minute. Shreya, I'm sure Ashutosh is an extremely well-read person, and I also hope, just like the PMO, he's hoping that the PMO takes notice of what I'm saying. I also hope that PMO is taking note of the entire show and definitely notes what both Ashutosh and Manojit Mondal has been saying. Anyway, coming back to our point, the point here is it's very easy. Whenever the Hindus get bashed up, it's very easy to say that the Hindus instigated, Hindus burnt up something, and therefore BJP is trying to polarize this issue. In Bengal, it doesn't happen like that. In Bengal, I told you very specifically, I'm repeating this at the sake of repetition, that yes, Bengal under Mamata Banerjee for the last 11 years has become a complete safe haven for terrorists like these organizations that Shubhendu has mentioned. Yes, we have requested an NIA inquiry, and when the inquiry happens, I'm sure everything will be, doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani ho jayega. But my point here this is a repetition. There is a tendency here. This is not the first time, like you very correctly said, Shreya, that Bengal has hit national news for communal riots. And this is not the first time it has happened. I hope this is the last time it has happened. I hope the state government under Honorable Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, because the police is also under her, she's also the police minister. I hope they're going to really take cognizance of the matter. They will do their proper inquiry, allow our leaders to go and talk to them. But these people are not going to do that. Because again, just let me say one last time. Muslims have attacked Hindus repeatedly. This is the second or third time it has happened on Kojagori Lokhi Pujo. The Noakhali riots are a warning bell. And forgive me, I'm going to use a Bengali term now.
Yesterday's...
That Shidure make dekle bhoy paye. We do get scared. I don't know where this is going to lead up. I don't know who has caused it. We are very, very sanguine. We know these organizations are there. And yes, the NIA will come.
But if you don't know, who has caused it, why are you blaming the Muslims or the Al-Qaeda? Go ahead. How do you know? How do you know?
I mean, look at
there is an investigation that needs to be taken.
Look at the videos.
Come on. Okay.
The videos are very clear, Shreya. Your videos, you've been circulating everywhere. Please have a look. Please see.
Okay.
And they have targeted Hindu houses, Hindu settlements, Hindu bikes, Hindu conveyors all the time. This is not the
Shatorupa, 1 minute. Okay. I have, okay, no, both the gentlemen on the debate want to say something as well. 20 seconds, Manojit, go ahead, and then I'll give the last 20 seconds to Ashutosh.
This is a magnificent employment of magic realism. She is going to 1947 and coming back to 2022. I mean, how can such stupid magic realism be used to justify that their narrative is palpable? This is amazing. But the fact that I don't even blame the spokesperson of BJP, because that is what all the Bengal big leaders are doing, including Shubhendu Adhikari. That they can, from a certain distance, even if there is any kind of clash, they will politicize and communalize it. There lies the problem. They don't love the state.
Ashutosh, no. The fact is, polarization benefits the TMC also. Manojit, we know that polarization benefits the TMC as well. Ashutosh, 20 seconds. 20 seconds, Ashutosh, I'm out of time. Manojit, let Ashutosh. No, last word to Ashutosh.
Today, after the assembly polls, BJP is very vulnerable in Bengal. Very, very vulnerable in Bengal. And I doubt if they could maintain the 18 seats which they got last time. So this entire exercise blaming Muslim community is to polarize, communalize, to scare Hindus to get their votes. She has already become a judge, and she's already become an NIA because she knows who instigated the riot. That is the irony of the situation. Their own MLA in Delhi claims that they instigated violence.
Okay, we'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much, Ashutosh, Manojit, Mondal and Shatorupa for joining us on the broadcast today.